Welcome to Camrose, Alberta, home of Augustana University. Formerly known as Camrose Lutheran College, Augustana began operating in 1911. By 1985, it became the first private university in Alberta, and by 2004, it was a part of the University of Alberta in Edmonton. Augustana provides a welcoming community and a place to make memories and call home. Quoting the Augustana campus website, Augustana is a place where students matter, teaching is regarded a vocation, where community is an everyday experience. I have spoken with some Augustana alumni to find out just how true that quote is.
I chose Augustana because it was the smallest and I kind of liked that small town feel.
I think the nice thing about Augustana is that because it's small, you don't get stuck within your own discipline. So students in science can connect with students in arts, and in fact we did. Theme would definitely be one of relationship, and not that I was friends with most of my professors, not at all, but the vast majority, you got a sense that, as Karsten said, they really cared about who you were and what you were doing in class, and so it was nice to know that you mattered, I guess, in that way.
On the whole, I would say that out of all of, I never had a professor that really wasn't willing to go the extra mile.
It made you feel like you were part of the decision-making process in your class. Like, it wasn't just what the professor said and that's just how it goes. He let us negotiate and, have a say in our education, which was really awesome. I liked that.
I could also speak to the staff at Augustana as well, who really saw themselves as part of the educational venture at Augustana. So it wasn't just about the individual professors, but the administrative assistants, custodial staff, and cafeteria staff that sort of engaged with us.
The experience of eating in the cafeteria, which sounds weird as one of my favorite activities, but it was a communal experience, and it was sort of a nice thing to know that you were going to see the people who you lived with 3 times a day. You were going to connect with your friends and the people who you didn't know well, but you kind of knew from class, and you could kind of keep in touch with people. It was so easy because everyone was there. It was this communal experience. So I think that's one of the things that I remember fondly about Augustana.
I want to say that it's definitely a pivotal point. It's definitely a common bond that certainly it anchored.
We can talk about it.
It anchored us both to Camrose. I went to university here for 5 years. I was in Camrose more or less for the better part of 5 years.
Yeah.
After I finished, Jessica started going to university, so again, we're still here, and it definitely played a big part in us being here and being together. I don't know. I'm certainly say it's not the reason, but it's certainly played a role, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely, I agree. And it's just nice that we have that in common, that we can that's our we have memories together from Augustana.
In terms of being the place where we connected, I think it definitely provided the space for that. But I think also for what Augustana stood for, I think, and our experiences there, I think we share a lot of similarities in bringing together social ideas of social responsibility, faith, intellectual inquiry, and having those as a part of a unified whole. That I think that also brought us together. I think is that shared
set of values or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. For one of my midterms, I had to stand on one leg, juggle, and tell a joke. That was in drama class. In one of Phil Merklinger's classes, I had to do an assignment where I had to describe a Coke bottle. I don't know. For a final exam where the question was, what is postmodernism, I wrote a postmodern essay as I thought, at least at that point, where I invented my own language and wrote backwards, and I really actually wanted to stand up and sing as part of the essay, but I restrained myself.